it's Becca here from the Know and Play Space, and welcome back to the Know and Play Space YouTube channel. I got my littlest here, baby R. Are you climbing on me? And today I am... What are you doing to my hair? Are you licking me? And today I am bringing you an updated play space tour, showing you how we are using the play space for both boys. So Mr. 3 is 3.5 actually now. And this little one is 7 months and he has just started to be on the move. He is commando crawling, and therefore the playroom needed baby proofing and he needed more space. So yeah, it is May 2025 and this is the updated playroom. If you haven't got any questions, do pop them down in the comments below, or you can always send me a DM over on Instagram. Yeah, but I think we'll just get straight into it. Okay, so here is the play space at the moment. This is how it is with Mr. 3 being over 3.5 now and baby R now being 7 months. So this is our main living space. It's downstairs next to the kitchen through those doors, and this comes out to the hallway here. So yeah, it's right in the centre of the home and it's lovely to have both boys playing where we are all the time, really. So when you walk in, we've got our book box here. This is just an IKEA Flissat front-facing book box. In here are lots of books about kind of wildlife and spring and life cycles at the moment, and then we've got a couple of mathsy ones in there that we use for some of our activities as well. We've then got our Pickler triangle. This is from Goodivas. It's the larger Pickler triangle. We used to have the TP toy set, but for Christmas, Mr. 3 got this. Being such a big climber, he needed something that was more challenging. What's great about this is that it has different heights that you can set it at. At the minute, he's got it on 90 degrees, so it's at a 90-degree angle, but actually sometimes we put it up to 45 so that it goes up to a kind of a bigger and more challenging climbing triangle, but he can't have that all the time. I've just realised I've left the stool in the middle of the room. And then underneath the sofa, we've got our foam tiles under there that we use that are like number tiles, and then the slide or ramp and the climbing net that clips onto the Pickler triangle are just under the sofa, because where it's nicer weather, we don't really need those out as much, and also it just gives us a bit more floor space for playing. We have an arch that goes with this as well, but that's up in his bedroom as a rocker at the moment. And then over here, this is Mr. 3's maker's space. So it's basically all of the kind of creative resources. It's looking a bit sad and tired at the moment. I could do with doing a bit of a big refresh of it, really. But I'll show you what we've got in here at the moment. So in here are resources that he can access kind of independently himself. So we've got washable markers. These are Crayola. They're the only ones that I find that actually come out of things, which is why he can have self-access to those. These are just some chunky jumbo colouring pencils. Scissors, so these are Westcott, I think. And then these are ones that have like cut different kind of wiggly lines, which are a great challenge because they're a bit harder to cut with. Glue stick, hole punches, so these punch out flower shapes. We had those out for spring. They could probably do with a bit of a refresh, really. And then in the back here, he's just got a little notebook that's really cute, and an LED kind of writing pad. And then in here are paint sticks. So all of that he has out accessed at all times. In here is just a load of different paper that he can choose from. In this one is our creative resources. So these are a load of shapes that actually I used for a maths activity, but I've just popped them in there to make collages and stuff with them. We haven't used them yet, but they're there in case we ever want to. And loads of stickers at the back there to choose from. This is just a little plastic like takeaway tub, but it's great for a teeny tiny pot of PVA glue. And then a PVA glue wand, and then that just stays in there. So he can use that himself if he wants to, but obviously it's in such a small pot that there's only a tiny bit, so it doesn't make a mess. In here are stamps, so these are our letter stamps. I got this set on Vinted, but what's great is that they are all, oops, chucking it on the floor. Can't pick it up, there we go. These are letter stamps that are all the correct letter formation. So those have been a brilliant find. So it's Jolly Phonics by Early Learning Centre. But if you can find those on Vinted, they're really great. And then these are number stamps. I've written the number on the top so that you can see which ones they are. But again, I chose these. They're by a brand called Craft Play, I think, on Amazon. I'll link them. But again, they've got the correct formation of all of the numbers. So like the 9 is straight down and the 1's just a straight 1, which is what I was looking for. There's actually some Easter stamps in here as well. But yeah, so and again, the ink that I've chosen, it's washable. So again, I'm not worried about it. Not that he has ever put it anywhere that he shouldn't do, but it is washable just in case. And then under here is just a Paw Patrol colouring pad that sometimes we'll sit and do together, which is nice. And then in this basket is just junk modelling bits. So if I find something that I don't think is worth throwing away that he might want to create with, that goes in this big basket here. And then this here is an IKEA Scandis pegboard. There are some little pots with bits and bobs in. These could do with changing these up really, but there's just some like stickers, some foam shapes, some feathers. And then this, I've just restocked this actually the other day. This is full of envelopes. He absolutely loves making cards and letters, so it's just a whole load of envelopes of all sorts of different sizes. It's worth going on like Facebook Marketplace or like free cycle sites and just seeing if anyone's giving away a load. My mum kindly gave us a load of envelopes, so there's a great selection in there. Here's just string and masking tape. In here is post-it notes and teeny tiny cards for card making. And then down here, these are our name cards. So if he was wanting to do writing of family names, they are all on here so that he can see the spelling of them. This is great for sight word recognition as well as obviously looking at it for letter formation. Oops. And then these are the sound cards that we made. So here's our sound posters, and then on the reverse of them is the sound card that we've learnt. These are all ones that he has properly, he's absolutely secure on them. So those ones have gone onto a key ring. And then all of the new sounds that I've introduced over the last week or so have gone onto our phonics washing line that just goes around the fireplace here. Is that everything there? I think so. So fireplace washing line for phonics. These sound cards are all ones that I've made. And then these are little sound posters that go with it. So these are things that are relevant to him so that he can link the letter, as I said, to things that are relevant to him. So we've got for Marshall, Matt and Mummy. And then we've also talked about the capital letter. So he knows that for my name and for his uncle's name, that it's a capital because it's our name. And so we've stuck that one onto there. Same as here, we've got for Daddy. It's just really nice to put things that are relevant to the child. It really helps them with that understanding of those initial sounds. So this is our Flissat table in the middle here. We use this for all sorts, just as kind of a surface for playing on, but inside it at the moment we have got multicoloured chickpeas, and then in this side is all the resources for it. So we've got egg cartons, spoons, bowls, tubes, for kind of sensory play whenever we need it, stool. And then under here is a huge basket of Duplo, so that's the Duplo board. We just have so much of this, but it's one of those things that, like, when you're building a big model, you do need a lot of Duplo. But it's like, where do I store all of this? But what I've done is I thought this might be helpful for other people, is that obviously if I just tipped all of this Duplo into a big basket, it'd be really hard to find like what you want. And rummaging through Duplo makes the most horrible noise. So in here, I've basically put a big bag of all the bricks. So literally just building bricks. This bag has got like figures. I don't know if I can open it with one hand. It's basically got just like all the extra little bits. So plants, figures, characters, fences, animals. So that's all sorted into that bag. This bag down here is like base plates, doors, windows. And then at the bottom there is just like vehicles. Oh, look, loose animal that's obviously been in the train. But it's been really helpful. I'm not going to be able to put that away with one hand. But yeah, having it sorted into bags has been really helpful rather than having it in one big basket, because there is a lot of Duplo, but yeah, you just need a lot of bricks to actually build anything with. So that's been a good solution, and that normally just lives under there. I'm just going to tuck it over there for a minute so I can carry on talking, and I'll put that away in a minute. Okay, and then this is baby R's new space. So last time when I filmed, I had units here, and he basically just had this like little corner, which was good because Mr. 3 is a very active little person, and so baby R needed like a little confined little space that was going to keep him safe and kind of away from the chaos of his brother. But now that he's moving, he needed a more open, a bigger space that he can, you know, have that gross motor practice in. So I've just opened it all up and moved the unit over here. So this is a treasure basket that I've set up for him. It's just shiny things at the moment. This is his little favourites basket, so little bits and bobs of things that he's loving at the moment. So like his made a pear. This is a rattly oval. This is actually from a Love Every set that I've just paired together. This is lovely. It's a Grimm's cube. I think it's called a grasping cube, which is lovely. Sad times. It went out on the grass and now it's got a grass stain, but never mind. But yeah, I love that as a resource. Musical instruments, which both the boys share. This is his spinning drum. Bubble lamp that he got for his first Christmas. And then down here are the low mirrors. And then I've just used some placemats for like focused toys. If you've been a long time follower on my Instagram, you'll know that I use these placemats in Mr. 3's play space when he was a baby. It's just quite nice to have somewhere to like put the toy rather than just leaving it on the floor. I like that kind of like everything in its place and a place for everything. So yeah, even just placemats work if you haven't got shelving. And then, crazily, we have put up the pull-up bar because we were already putting up these new shelves, which I'll talk about in a minute. And I knew that I wanted the pull-up bar put in his space for when baby R starts cruising and pulling up. So we thought, let's just put it up now. So fingers crossed we've put it at the right height. If not, we're going to have extra holes in the wall, which I'm not sure my partner will be so thrilled about, but never mind. But yeah, so this is here ready for him to kind of pull up and cruise along. And then I've just got a basket of different balls in the corner here, which he loves emptying out. And then this is his second shelf. So as I said, I just moved it from, it used to be on like a right angle here. It's just here to open up the space. We've got a basket of books. So there's board books in here and soft books that he can self-access. He loves tipping over the basket and pulling all of those out. And then just a couple of other resources here. So this is like a Manhattan, I think it's called a squish ball. Yeah, those are really lovely. It makes such a gorgeous noise, that. And then this is a Grimm's large roller. And then up here, this is actually like a mug stand that I got free off our local Facebook site. And I basically just use it for all the kind of little resources, just that I can then rotate in and out of his favourites basket. I just pop them all on here. And it also gives something that Mr. 3 knows, that all of those are safe for baby R. So if he needs to like swap a toy with him, if baby R's got hold of something of his, I've taught him to like swap it so that you're not just snatching it away. So he knows that he can come and choose something from there, which has been really helpful. So having those out on display has been good. Okie dokie. Finally, we had the play up here for ages, but I didn't put this wording back up, which was in Mr. 3's playroom when he was a baby. I just love that play as the work of the child. So that was really kindly gifted by a company called Ginger Fringe. Yeah, so I'm really pleased to have the full kind of phrase back up on the wall. I think it looks really cool with the shells underneath. These are just Grimm's. So this is the Grimm's rainbow and the Grimm's semicircles that Mr. 3 can have down for building, but they also look pretty. I think that's the thing with Grimm's, isn't it? It's so pretty that actually you don't want to play with it because it looks so lovely, but we do get them down and we do use them. And yeah, so basically these are the new shelves that we've put up onto the wall. And the reason that I've done that is because with baby R being on the move now, I needed things off the floor that weren't going to be safe for him, and I needed some sort of I suppose, strategy to know that there are things that are unsafe for him out in the playroom whilst we're playing with them. So I came up with this solution that we'd have high shelves. These are just the Trofar shelves, so it matches what we've got round here. And they just hang on the wall. So in here at the moment, I haven't really properly filled them, but we've got actually nappy changing resources there. But then this side, we've got like little castle figures, which obviously have got loads of like bits on them that are not safe for baby R to be playing with or to get hold of. Again, characters, some of them are so tiny and bits come off of them. So like the Playmobil hats come off, which obviously is then not safe for him to have in his mouth. But I don't want to put them away so that Mr. 3 doesn't have access to them. We've got the labels there ready to stick on the front. So I needed a solution. So yeah, as I said, I put them up on the wall, balls in here, and it basically means that although Mr. 3 can ask for them, so he can say like, oh, you know, mummy, please can I have the characters down? I then know, because I've had to physically like get it down for him, I know that those are then in the play space. So although baby R is never unsupervised anyway, it means that I'm like even more vigilantly supervising him because I know that I've got a tub off the shelf, if that makes sense. So for any of you that have also got like a shared play space, that might be a kind of like solution of how to manage it. And then obviously everything else on kind of ground level at the moment is then, I suppose, like is safe for him to have. Anything that's low down that he can get whilst he's kind of like commando crawling is going to be okay for him. Yeah, so round here we've got little dressing up bits here. I want to pop some more dressing up out, but it's in the garage loft in some of my like school boxes from when I was teaching. So we've just got the Sarah Silk's cloak up on here at the moment, and a couple of like necklaces and stuff, but I do want to get some more fancy dress there. We've got our Hape crane on here. We've got our yarn cones that we use for building all the time. His Yoto often just sits there, but yeah, needs its little stand and stuff. But we actually had to send our old Yoto back, and this is just a new one that's just arrived. So it's reminded me that I need to get the stand back out. We've got grass, like artificial grass pieces on here. And then this I got free off a Facebook Marketplace site again. Love a free find. So this is just like a wooden doll's house set. So I've just put those in the basket to see kind of where the play takes us with those. And then all of our kinetics magnets are down here. I love having them front facing so that you can see which shape you want to choose from. These are kind of like overflow ones at the back here. But I find that building is so much more purposeful when you can see the shapes and you're not like hunting, and you can say like, oh, I really need, you know, an equilateral triangle, and it's there ready for you to go so you can see it. So yeah, if you've got the space, having wooden blocks or, you know, magnetic tiles front facing so you can see the shapes is a great idea, but obviously, you know, not everyone's got the space, I do understand. Yeah, sorry, this shelf is so grotty because it actually used to be in my classroom. Yeah, so it's a bit grot, but you know, does the job. This shelf here, it's actually got some wooden blocks that I've just realised they've been pushed to the back, which aren't meant to go there. I've just emptied these because these used to have all of our wooden blocks on front facing. So again, a bit like the magnets, it was really nice having the blocks sorted into their shape so that when you're building, you can just take the shape that you need. But they are big, they are heavy, and Baby R kept pulling them off the shelf. So what I've done for the moment is just put them all into this big basket, which obviously is too heavy for him to pull off the shelf. You know, I've talked to Mr. 3 about the fact that, you know, we'll just have to rummage for the moment if we want bricks. But yeah, it seemed the kind of safest solution for the minute, because obviously if he pulls one of these off, it's going to clonk him on the head, which, you know, won't do too much damage, but it will hurt. So wanted to try and avoid that. So yeah, these shelves are empty, ready for some new resources to come into. So I'll see what I can rotate in. These are our lovely new rainbow wooden blocks from Ulanik that they very kindly sent us. I'm just going to pop those in there for the minute. There we go. And then here are our open-ended resources. So we've just got cars, Paw Patrol vehicles, these are like Hot Wheels tracks in here, farm animals, wild animals, and then in here, This is like remote control little bits, again, that used to be on the floor, but I picked them up, put them in a tray. That needs a new label on there, because those are new things. But yeah, this is kind of open-ended stuff that we always have out. TV, which hopefully one day will get hung on the wall so that we actually get like the surface space here, but not at the moment. This lovely holes in the wall, because I tried to put those shelves here and I didn't like it. So now we've got these massive holes in the wall that need filling, but yeah, sorry, Jordan. Up here are our craft cupboards. So this, I don't think I've ever shown these actually. So this has basically got all the kind of like overflow paints, you know, bits that I might rotate into the craft area. And then this side has got sensory resources and phonics resources. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever shown those. All sorts of stuff up there that needs sorting, but we'll ignore that. And then over here, this is our, just like as you come in, our visual timetable that we don't really use so much anymore, because our days are so, our kind of like rhythm of our days is so similar. But sometimes Mr. 3 kind of relies on this and needs it, so it stays there. Our weatherboard and our Grimm celebration ring that we change up, like just to kind of talk about the seasons and how the seasons change throughout the months. And then in here is Mr. 3's bits and bobs basket of all the little things that he loves to collect and loves to have, and I daren't put away because he just, I don't know, he just is always in this basket. Just literally the most random selection of things, but he's such a like, I don't know, he loves like bits and bobs. I don't know, I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, old phones, torches, watches, his little grabber thing that he got for Christmas, a compass, a fan. Look, this has been claimed from the holiday box that I was sorting the other day. So yeah, anything that kind of moves and works in here. But yeah, I think that's basically it for this room. I hope that's been really helpful just to kind of see where we've got to with this shared space. Obviously it's not perfect, everything changes, and it never normally looks like this, especially with a mobile baby. His space literally just gets covered in all of the toys as he kind of moves his way around, and then Mr. 3 will be often playing as well. So yeah, it never normally looks this tidy. But yeah, if you've got any questions, do pop them down in the comments below, or as always, send me a DM over on Instagram at the Nurn Playspace. And you know, I love a chat about play environments, so do, yeah, anything that you want to ask, then do. Let's do like a quick spin round. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon, hopefully for another video.